Thank you to my colleague, Mr. Culberson. It's really good and proper that you're having this time here tonight, and I'm glad to be able to join you with that. You know, it's amazing to me that we even have to have this conversation. It's always a good conversation to have to honor our officers that put their lives on the line in so many aspects of our lives, whether it's a highway patrol or sheriff, our city police, park rangers, fish and game. All of them out there have a different level, some level of risk in order to maintain what it is we want in a free society for our security. And what's so tragic about what's happening lately is it's coming down to a racial issue so much that the sides are becoming much sharper and sharper as to what America is or what Americans are about. And we need to get together on this. The enforcement of the law, the upholding of the law, the protection of families, of homes, this cuts across all lines. Indeed, I just saw a bit on the news a few minutes ago here where a gentleman in Florida, his name is George Cooper, as I recall. He happens to be black, and he came to the defense of an officer who happens to be white, who was being beaten in some type of an altercation there where he was trying to do his job. So there's examples where, and as the gentleman said in the interview, it isn't a race thing. It doesn't matter, you know, who's white or who's black in this thing. It's about upholding the law, about having safe neighborhoods for all of us, for all Americans to be able to thrive. And so it's tragic that so much is going on trying to pit Americans against each other. Yes, we have problems. We have issues that need to be resolved within how some may enforce the law. But we have protocols for that. We need to make sure that they're followed and they're prosecuted. But it doesn't make the whole aura of law enforcement somehow wrong. Indeed, the effects we're seeing with cities now where cops are backing off. Crime rates are going up. Murders are going up in some of these cities here dramatically. I heard one of the cities 96%. This is not what we want. It's not good for the families, for the moms that have to watch their kids go out the door. And what if they're going to come back because there isn't that law enforcement? I want to share with you a piece, though, that I think really encapsulates this by a great American, Paul Harvey, from some years ago, saying, "What are policemen made of? A policeman is a composite of what all men are, mingling of a saint and sinner, dust and deity. Gold statistics wave a fan over the stinkers, underscore instances of dishonesty and brutality because they are new. What they really mean is that they are exceptional, unusual, and not commonplace. Buried under the frost is the fact, less than 0.5% of policemen misfit the uniform. That's a better average than you'd find amongst clergy. What is a policeman made of? He of all men is once the most needed and the most unwanted. He's the strangest nameless feature who is sir to his face, but pig or fuzz to his back. He must be such a diplomat that he can settle differences between individuals so that each will think he won. But if the policeman is neat, he's conceited. If he's careless, he's a bum. If he's pleasant, he's flirting. If not, he's a grouch. He must make an instant decision which would require months for a lawyer to make. But if he hurries, he's careless. If he's deliberate, he's lazy. He must be first to an accident and infallible with his diagnosis. He must be able to start breathing, stop bleeding, tie splints, and above all, be sure the victim goes home without a limp or expect to be sued. The police officer must know every gun, draw on the run, and hit where it doesn't hurt. He must be able to whip two men twice his size and half his age without damaging his uniform and without being brutal. If you hit him, he's a coward. If he hits you, he's a bully. A policeman must know everything and not tell. He must know where all the sin is and not partake. A policeman must, from a single strand of hair, be able to describe the crime, the weapon, and the criminal and tell you where that criminal is hiding. But if he catches the criminal, he's lucky. If he doesn't, he's a dunce. If he gets promoted, he has political pull. If he doesn't, he's a dullard. The policeman must chase a bum lead to a dead end, stake out 10 nights to tag one witness who saw it happen but refused to remember. The policeman must be a minister, a social worker, a diplomat, a tough guy, and a gentleman. And of course, he'd have to be a genius, for he has to feed his family on a policeman's salary." This is just a sample of what officers go through across this country, where they, giving of themselves in service many times, especially in this present environment, feel like they're somehow made wrong for having done so. We're here to uphold that tonight and tell them you're doing it right. We support you and appreciate the thin blue line. I appreciate my colleague, Mr. Culberson.